how to reparent your inner child. What's going on, family? It's your girl Guruji Chastity, and today I'm going to share 3 key points and also 3 practical tools to help you reparent your inner child. Let's get started with the 3 points first, okay? First thing first, reparenting your inner child causes you to be curious on how to connect to the most prized possession in your life. And that's you, big dog. That's you. You are the most prized possession in your life. Nothing else externally and no one else internally. It's all you. This all for you right now. I'm only existing right now in this moment for you. Okay? For you. Right? That's key point number 1. Key point number 2 is you got to know who the family is, who existing inside of here, who you need to be building intentional relationships with. Too many times we get caught up in trying to be family and friendly with external people, but we ain't trying to do that with the people or the energies that live within us, and that's a lot. We got to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got to do that. And then, key point number 3, everything that we do is all about getting curious over being defensive. I don't want you to be defensive. Now, when I say defensive, family, I'm not saying that you like, ooh, shut up, you can't say that about me. You just you being defensive in that way. That's not what we're saying. That's very physical and it's not spiritual at all. When I say stop being defensive, what I mean is stop defending your limitations. Okay? Stop being lazy and giving in to negative stories. Have some willpower. Have some self-worth, some self-respect, some courage to say, hey, yeah, I hear that negative story, but that's not about me. I'm going to fight for mine. I'm going to fight for me, and I'm going to fight to see the beauty in my existence. I'm going to fight to see my self-worth. I'm going to fight to see my power. I ain't just going to roll over and accept this negative story that either it could be naturally coming from your mind, so either a negative story your mind conjuring up or a negative story that's being projected onto you, right? People can literally project their negativity that they can't deal with onto you, or you could be walking around somewhere and just you might be an empath and you might just be smacked. You might go somewhere and just be smacked with somebody else's energy and you don't got no choice in the matter, right? And so this is what I mean, family, by getting curious and not defensive. You should always want to investigate. You should always want to know more, right? Because everything that we experience is probably surface level and there's probably a deeper aspect that you're longing for, right? And this is just a quick little key point when it comes to manifesting or creating a life of your desire. It's not the things that you want, it's actually the connection, it's actually the relationship. And so whether that is a more fruitful relationship with source or a more fruitful relationship with yourself, that's the only reason you have goals. That's the only reason you want to manifest. It's not for the things, because most times we get the things and we still don't feel good because the whole time all you wanted was that connection, all you wanted was that feeling, right? So got my notes. Don't you even worry about it. So let's go and get into it, family. Those are my 3 key points. Now I want to share my 3 practical tools that you can use in your everyday life when it comes to learning how to reparent your inner child, right? So first things first, unlearning what you rely on. That's the most difficult, unlearning what you rely on. And I don't want to say unlearning what you have learned because we've learned so much, right? A lot of this, it'd be wild to see that the things that we do in our own reality is not because they come naturally to us. It's because somebody else taught us that, right? So unlearning what you rely on. You don't have to go back in your childhood and be looking at, what did my parents teach me? You don't have to do none of that. All you got to do is look up into your life right now. Look up and see the things that you do the most. See the patterns and the behaviors that you rely on the most, the stories that you rely on the most. And that's the shit you want to let go of. That's the stuff that you want to unlearn, because it is in unlearning the things that you rely on that allows you to rely on something better, that allows you to rely on something deeper, that allows you to actually rely on your inner child and not rely on external circumstances like we've been taught, right? We've been taught to rely on the experiences that we have and not on the feelings that we create or that we have internally that created that experience, right? So this is what I mean, family. And so again, we still on practical tool number 1, but I put bullet points to kind of help me evolve it to make sure I give you a full, well-rounded tool for each one. And so as you work to unlearn what you rely on, I want you to then replace what you've been relying on what feels good, on following what feels good. Okay? We are no longer doing what you think is right. So You know, them stories in the back of your head that say you got to do this or that, or, oh my God, this is going to happen to your life. We want to stop relying on that voice, right? And we want to begin to follow what feels good by tapping into our body, which is the home of the inner child, right? And so, here comes some cars. Hold on. Cars or a helicopter. Okay? Noise abound, honey, right? So when we begin to follow what feels good, we then become the parent to ourselves that we needed our actual parents to be, right? And so a lot of times the disconnect between our actual parents and why we couldn't connect to them in a meaningful way, or how we look up and see it as an adult that they didn't parent us in a meaningful way, is because they never followed what feels good when it came to us. They just were told, oh, I'm an adult and you the parent and I probably shouldn't let you do that, or I probably shouldn't ask you if that's what you want to do. I'm the adult, you do what I say do. And so the kid is used to following what they think is right. So when an adult tells a parent, you got to do this, and the kid like, for a while, and it's like, cause I'm the mama, cause I said so, it's my house, right? We begin to grow up and talk to our own self like that as an adult. Like, well, this what you got to do. It is what it is. Suck it up. Your internal voice will begin to talk to you like that, and then you wonder why you so self-critical. You wonder why you can't get out of negative stories, why you can't quit talking smack to yourself anytime you make a choice, right? Because in the time in which you were parented, when you were really learning the things, right? Somebody either wasn't following what felt good to them, or they didn't acknowledge that you have a space within you that will allow you to direct where you want to go and where you want to be. But because you were the child, you know, what felt right for you and what felt good to you didn't have no place. You see what I'm saying? And so once we do all of that, right, what you get from that tool is the ability to embrace and nurture yourself, right? Embracing and nurturing yourself is the first surefire way to get out of negative stories. Because if me and you talking, right, watch this, right? If me and you talking and I'm just going in, I'm like, God damn it, cuz I feel like a piece of shit. I ain't no good. My coaching business ain't gonna work. Don't nobody watch these videos. I ain't helping nobody. When we together and I start talking like this, if you really ride for me, if you care for me, you gonna be like, whoa, come here. Like, come on, bro, quit tripping. You gonna embrace me. You gonna hear me. You gonna open your arms. This is the etymology of the word embrace. M means to open. Embrace says, watch out now. Watch out now. I got it, right? You gonna embrace me. You gonna say, hey, big dog. No, calm down. That's not really what's happening. In fact, you know, I know it may seem like this, but... And then you gonna water me by telling me more positive things about what I'm doing. That's what nurturing is, right? So literally just open your arms toward yourself and then bring it in, shout it. Bring it in, shout it. And then you start pouring water on that thing. You start being nice to yourself, which are positive stories, right? So again, that's a wonderful example. But you see how the moment I opened myself up to being embraced and nurtured, I was able to stop relying on what I've learned, which is that self-critical negative internal voice. Then I started to I started to be able to follow what feels good. So once you start telling me these positive things, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, you're right. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then I'm gonna start to parent myself in the way that I needed to be parented by my parents. So when we was going through the throes of life and we had parents who was like, quit crying, suck it up, it ain't that bad, ain't nobody did nothing to you, right? You don't have to live like that no more. You are starting to, like, if you was my homie and again you was saying that stuff to me, you would start to take on and say that stuff in your head. You would start to say, like, for sure, yeah, I hear you, dog. But but at the same time, you repeating what I done said to you out loud to yourself internally, so you can walk yourself down, you know, from that big mountaintop of crazy, or I don't know, from over exaggerating. But let me not say, because our emotions don't be over exaggerating. When we be feeling like we're in the throes of life, we is in the throes of life, and nobody can convince you otherwise. So let me not say that. But sometimes we take our energy real high up, and then we got to bring it down. And sometimes we can just not do that. Okay. That was practical tool number one. And so essentially, a practical tool number one started with unlearning what you rely on. And it ended with gaining the ability to embrace and nurture yourself. You feel what I'm saying, big dog? So tip number 2, this is an expansion of that one little nugget, and I didn't even know I put this in here. Tip number 2 is you don't want the material things more than you want a deeper connection to yourself in order to have deeper experiences. So unlearn Western culture that prioritizes physical success. I say this again, family. You don't want a deeper connection with yourself so that you can start to have more material possessions, so you can start to have more money, so you can start to travel. That's not the end all be all of it. That is the byproduct of building a intentional, embracing, nurturing, unconditional relationship with the most prized possession in your life, which is who? Who to you? You. Okay, cuz it's you, cousin. It's you, cousin. All right, so tip number 2, practical tool number 2 is to realize, hey, I just realized this the other day. Personally, right now, I don't have a car, right? Because as you know, I was displaced by Hurricane Ian, and I now live in Philly. Moved halfway across the world in the blink of an eye, right? And so now I'll start to say, I want a car so that I can have a sense of security. Now just listen to what I said, family, and this is what we all do. I don't want that car. I don't actually want the physical manifestation of a car. For one, I don't even want to get down with a car because I hate the responsibility of one. I don't want to do no maintenance. I don't want to pay for no tags. That shit's stupid. Okay? So stop. I don't want this car. What I actually want is a sense of security. But I can have the sense of security before the car ever physically manifested and be totally fine. And the car manifesting is a byproduct of me just naturally finding where security lives already within me. You see what I'm saying? Hold on one second, family. I don't know what this big ass truck going. Big buddy loud. Big buddy loud. It sound like he coming right towards us, big dog. So when I discovered that, I said, oh wait, I actually want the feeling of security, which is that's me connecting with me and connecting with the universe and with source, and me just knowing that, like, oh, okay, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved. That is security. That is a feeling. That is a deeper connection with my internal world and how it plays out with my external world. Me wanting to feel secure actually has nothing to do with physically getting a physical car, a physical thing. And if you need the things to manifest before you feel them, then you in for a long haul, shawty. You're gonna be doing this all goddamn day. You ain't gonna never get out of this monkey race, okay? Because that's what it is. Because if you have been taught in order to feel good about yourself, you need the physical success, again, you digging a hole that you ain't gonna never be able to fill. I don't care how much material possessions you got. If you don't feel you're okay mentally, if you don't feel you're safe physically, if you don't feel that you're loved internally, you ain't gonna never make it. Because how many celebrities that we done ran across who got everything, every physical manifestation, that material thing that somebody can have, and what they do? Kill themselves. Yeah, we ain't making joke a lot of that shit. It's not okay. It's not funny. It's not cool. And it's definitely not cool to continue to live a life where you only aspire to have physical manifestations, because you are on a slippery slope into this Western world. So that's why I say get up off of that. Get up off of that Western culture and realize that everything that you experience externally is a byproduct of what's happening internally. And by byproduct, I mean second nature. When you start to feel good in security, and let's just say I get a car, when I get that car, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, thank you. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. I done manifested a car. Why would I act like that? I wouldn't, because I'm already knowing that the fact that I feel secure, I am a vibrational match to that level of security. So it has no choice but to physically appear, because I'm a vibrational match to it, because I already worked to feel like that on my own. You see what I'm saying? That's the name of the game, family. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. This the hardest one, and it's the most simple. It's 2 words, but it's the hardest one. I bet you. Receive love. Receive love. Receive love. receive love. I just want to keep saying it. What's going on, brother? Receive love, right? When you are able to open yourself up to receiving love, you know what happens? You got more patience without the excessive trials. How many times have you asked God, hey God, please just imbue me with more patience, because I'm out here tripping on these folks, and the next thing you know, you getting tried left and right. Everybody tap dancing on your nerves. That has happened. I know that has happened. Okay? And so when you receive more love, you don't have to go through those excessive trials, those excessive external trials that test your patience. You know why? Because you are patience itself. When you are receiving love, right? When you are opening up yourself to the divine wisdom that you already are, you become more of it. And not only do you become more of it, you realize that you are it. Anything that you are aware of, it can't take you over, right? You can only exist within it. And so if you are aware that you are opening yourself up to love, that you are receiving love, you can only expound more in it, right? You can't do nothing else but to expound more in it. And so once you begin to open yourself up to love, what you begin to do is imbue yourself with more patience. When you naturally imbue yourself with more patience without the excessive external trials and tribulations, you then begin to be able to follow your intuition, right? Without hesitation, right? You are able to begin to follow your intuition without hesitation. And again, following your intuition goes back to the very first one of how you're able to follow what feels good instead of what you think is right, how you're able to develop more of a connection towards yourself and the most prized possession in your life versus being caught up and being instead of being caught up and captured by the physical possessions of those feelings. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're able to receive more love, you're also able to stop the negative stories. And it's the negative mind chatter that creates the negative experiences. We've been taught so many times that it's our external environment that creates how we feel on the inside, and we ain't doing nothing wrong. We only responding to what we're experiencing. But that's so far from the truth. You are responding to what you created internally, right? But if you can't silence the mind chatter, you can't see that. You can't see that to be true. You just know life is happening to you, and we got to go out here and we got to take action on it, right? And so, again, when you open yourself up to receiving love, what you're able to do is to follow your intuition more. You're able to remove negative mind chatter, and you're able to have a natural patience without the excessive trials, without people tap dancing on your goddamn nerves. You feel what I'm saying, family? So look, oh, I got some juicy. Let me see. I'm noticing the notes. Look, so I got a journal prompt. If you want to actually practice and integrate what we talked about in this video, which is how to reparent your inner child, click the link in the description, and I have a journal prompt for you that will allow you to get curious and not defensive about the information that I just shared, okay? Right? And I'll just give you a little quick little juice. The actual journal prompt is it's a couple things, but I'm gonna just tell you one. You're gonna have to list 5 ways you want to be loved. Which now, right? You're like, oh, okay, bet. Okay, cool, I'll do that. It's exciting to see what I tell you to do with them 5 ways, right? So I'm going to have you write down 5 ways you want to be loved. But the juice, why you got to go to the actual journal prompt in the description and click it and download it, is because once you figure out the 5 ways you want to be loved, once you figure out the 5 ways you want to be loved, I'm going to have you do something with that piece of information that's very helpful and will actually apply everything that we just talked about in this video, right? So if you enjoy the content that I make, family, please like, subscribe, and share. I am here every Wednesday and Sunday offering myself up to you in a bountiful of ways, right? And then outside of YouTube, you can catch me every full moon and new moon where I offer oracle card readings, or you can just head to gurujichastity.com and check out the courses. We have paid courses, and we also have free resources. All right, family? And so until next time, I love you. Peace out.